Binance's Bitcoin reserves are fully collateralized according to this auditing firm. Binance CEO keeps reiterating that Binance has no loans out and people can ask around. Is Binance actually going to be the white knight of the centralized crypto exchanges and set the framework for the future? We can all suck back that hopium together and check it out because we're going to need it. So diving into this, we're seeing that Binance has held enough Bitcoins and wrapped Bitcoins to cover all of the users' balances on the exchanges. Good. Very good. The biggest caveat, oh God, what is it? This is kind of the face I'm starting to make as I read this, you know what I mean? The biggest caveat is Binance is only focusing on Bitcoin assets for now. Okay. If you hold other cryptocurrencies, there's no proof of reserve system just yet. Binance has found that its users collectively held 575,000 Bitcoins, which is $9.7 billion at today's exchange rate. That's a lot of Bitcoin. And it has enough Bitcoin and wrapped Bitcoin to cover 101% of these funds. So good. If you take everything into account, Mazars, which is the firm that did the auditing, they reached the same conclusion when it comes to Bitcoin reserves. This is a good step when it comes to transparency, hence the hopium. So Binance has this Binance Academy where you can learn a lot about what their systems do. So what is the proof of reserves and how it works on Binance. So you start taking notes, looking through here. But basically, it's just proof of reserves saying that it's an audit that aims to ensure that custodians are holding their clients' funds in full because of the FTX fallout, where they just gambled them away on shitcoins. Shitty because they lost them all. I track that stuff every single day. I track Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin. I track, I do, but I track the shitcoin volumes and what's going on over there. And it's funny to see over the last 6 months I've been tracking it. It's all been probably FTX. So Chainlink, they do off-chain to on-chain information here. So if we look at, say, this, they have this little animation where they have the asset vault. So they say this is Binance. I don't think this is what Binance has used. They have their own. So Chainlink links to this asset vault, so it shows all the money. And then they bring it into their proof of reserve contract. So then it's on the blockchain. They do cross-chain as well. So that's cross-chain assets. So you can see the different cryptos and the different blockchains. They bring it all together and they do a proof of reserve. They do get into a little bit more detail here if you want to see it. The institution will have the money. Chainlink Network, which the token is Link, and there's been a lot of buzz about that in the last little bit. They have a back and forth with them, obtain collateralization data off any chain asset, any off-chain asset, and then the proof of reserve contract, so you can see the deviation triggers on-chain transaction updates. So if there's any off-chain, if the collateralization isn't there, so if someone puts in one Bitcoin to say Binance buys one Bitcoin as well, so it's matched. So that's collateralized, right? If Binance only bought half a Bitcoin, and for every one Bitcoin that a customer bought, they're half collateralized. So if there's any deviation, they'll trigger an on-chain transaction update. And then dApps, which are decentralized applications, autonomously audit assets reserves on demand. So those are linked to probably Binance's wallets, which are public as well. And then when trigger assets become under collateralized, then the trigger transaction failures. So now you can get some alerts. There's a lot of good information. That's actually a pretty nice website. So if you go in here, you can see everything. You talk to an expert. But so the big thing, transaction value enabled here, you see $6 kajillion. I don't know if that's $6 kajillion. I think there's some other video that I had. We were talking about $6 kajillion. We talk about this stuff quite a bit. It's important to know, especially with all the centralized exchanges that are kind of going under. There's some sketchy stuff going on, weird stuff. People, these parent companies such as Digital Coin Group, they own a bunch of companies that need money, and the companies that they own are centralized exchanges. It's just a bunch of weird stuff. So it's interesting to see Binance, they're able to take on some of the, where are we at here? They're able to take on some of the failures. They're learning, right? Not saying everybody's perfect, but at least he's being vocal about it. And if the NFT space has taught me anything, it's about being vocal, letting the people know what's going on with your business, right? So it's lots of NFT projects just go to zero, which we all expect, because this is basically what they're doing. They're just walking into the bush and never coming out. Hey, so we're gonna jump into the crypto market summary. If you're enjoying the content, let me know, and if you have any comments, leave them in the comment box below. So we're actually seeing a little bit of strength in the crypto market. We are up about 3 or 4 billion, whatever that number is. Red Mike not confirmed. We're seeing some little bit of a rise though in Ethereum. It's probably leading the pack a little bit. Everything's just up a hair, which is good. Shitcoin volume. What are we seeing here today? So that is going to be 1.7 million. FTX is definitely not back in the game yet. 8038. BNB. Is there any good memes? Only been a pretty good privacy, DMT, crypto relief. Nah. Memes are lacking. 5.9. 5.9 in there, 2768. So some's coming up. What are we seeing in the crypto marketplace? Volumes are rising. Volumes are steady rising since the 2nd. So December. It's we're getting that what do you call it? The Santa pump. Saw that on GM Web3 or listened to that. So anyways, they got WTI's coming, staying the same. Energy prices kind of just trickling up a little bit, upward pressure. What are we seeing here? The spread's even wider. Interest rates are coming down, but the spread's is pretty wide still. NFT prices. So NFT floor prices basically adds up all the floor prices. Hasn't fluctuated that much lately. Maybe it's just the ones that I'm tracking, because there are some that are pumping. That's for sure. But, let's take a look and see what's up, what's down. Not a lot of big differences in here. Rug Radio's down a little bit. We're seeing the top of Rec Guy at 0.75. I'm not sure what the highest they got into. Eastworks down a little bit. Admit One's down a little bit. So there's a couple ups, couple downs. Typically how it is. I mean, it can't just go up forever. You know what I mean? That's basically what we're looking at today. We do have some big announcements, I guess, for next week. We're talking about the economic calendar. It's going to be some CPI numbers, the inflation numbers, and I think we have some FOMC stuff coming up. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day. Chat with you guys later.